A warm welcome to Megabots. It's our last qualifying heat. 2 groups left. Kilobots and Trackers were our success stories last time. And just to confirm, this is what it looks like on paper for the semi-finals. Kilobot against Daisy Cutter. Our Group 11 winner tonight will be up against the runner-up from the pool. And over to the second semi-final. Trackers was the success story last time around. And just to confirm, Hypnodisc cannot qualify. It is between the 5 top robots here. But all could change in tonight's heat, which looks like this. In Group 11, the veteran is Firestorm. We've got Weldor, Fluffy, Captain Pirate, who has 5 times reached a grand final. It looks amazing. We've got Detour. Now Ex-Human and Robobabe were built together, husband and wife. More will be revealed shortly. And Decapitator, who is a 2-time champion. More on Decapitator in a minute. But we now have our first fight, Firestorm, with the flipper, bright, colourful, but deadly. And Weldor with the axe and, well, sort of lifting scoop at the front. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Our robots for Heat 6 will be desperate to try and score as many points as possible, because obviously, even to get into the pool, you'll need at least 6 points for the runner-up spot. So, it gets a lot tighter as the tournament progresses for our robots, and that's great self-writing there from Weldor. The way it's designed, it can do that, obviously helping out with the axe and lifter. Firestorm now in the corner with Matilda. The armour quite loose already. That's the axe from Weldor doing all the damage there. Like I said, we do have in Heat 6, tonight's heat, we do have a 4-time grand finalist and a 2-time champion. Now, Captain Pirate is something to behold. It is an absolute colossal beast of a robot. We're looking forward to seeing it debut in the public domain. Of course, going behind closed doors. All these robots have featured, which is why I can give you statistics and kind of predictions based on their performance in the past. Of course, taking part in tournaments behind closed doors. So what we kind of guesstimate and predict is based on past performances, of course not in the public domain. But at the moment here, I mean, I think Weldor, you know, now, because they've both had the armour pretty much ripped apart, but I would say that the more aggressive here, causing the more damage, is Weldor as the pit descends. Now then, Firestorm, ooh, Weldor desperately close, ooh, so's Firestorm. Now then, they're both teetering on the edge. They're going to go to a judge's decision here. They could have done with a clear win, really. Ooh, well, they ended dangerously close to oblivion. I don't know. I think Weldor has that based on the damage and aggression. Well, what do I know? Next, it's Fluffy and Captain Pirate. And Fluffy, nothing like the Fluffy I'm sure you were expecting. It's made of wood with a flipper. Now, here is Captain Pirate, the beast of a machine. It's the heaviest in the heat.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And like I said before, Captain Pirate, after getting off to a very slow start there, has got through to the grand final on 4 occasions behind closed doors. Fluffy, bet that wasn't expecting your vision of Fluffy. No. Neither were we at the time. Now, this is the beauty of Captain Pirate. The robot is so wide and so heavy and big, thanks to those spikes, it cannot be flipped. I have very rarely seen Captain Pirate getting flipped. Of course, it is against a lifter. It's not like real flipper. But the armour is incredibly weak on Fluffy. Now, here's the other thing, you see. Those spikes, and like a knife, like a dagger on both sides, are so lethal to the opposition. And judging from this, from Fluffy, the chassis is incredibly, well, it's exposed now. And I don't think Fluffy can really attack. This is the thing, you see, because all sides are guarded on Captain Pirate, a family sibling of Jolly Roger, and that is it. I mean, that's the power of Captain Pirate. Fluffy.
Cease.
Immobilized. Chassis gone. This is looking very interesting here now. Captain Pirate, the firm 3 points and takes the lead. Interesting though, like I said, it'll all be determined later on. Now we move across to Group 12. It's going to be Detour against Ex-Human first. This is a bit of a fun group, I think, with Decapitator also highly experienced. But here is Diotior, weighing in at 101 kilos with the fur, and Ex-Human. This is the lightest robot you will see in the whole tournament. It looks great.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
It's the husband versus the wife versus the furball versus the Decapitator. We've certainly saved the best, if not wackiest, group until last, just for you. You can imagine what colour Robobabe is going to be, and like I said, very similar to Ex-Human. Now Diotor with the flipper. I was going to say, yeah, Ex-Human might be worth utilising its rear circular saw. It is a powerful weapon, and against Diotor, very low centre of gravity, but also the fur, not the best of armour. Oh, I was going to say, Ex-Human was doing awfully well there. Suffered tremendous damage in Matilda's corner patrol zone. Oh, and then because it's so light, this is the problem. Diotor here. Well, I can't see them.
Cease.
No. Cease is called. I was going to say I can't see them getting back up from there. Diotor, experienced enough to just leave it be on the fringe of Matilda, and the 3 points will be awarded to Diotor. Well, now we can move across to see Ex-Human's wife. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's Robobabe and Decapitator, the twice champion. Here is Robobabe, like I said, the same body design, slightly heavier with the flipper. And here's Decapitator. You wouldn't think this has won it twice, but it has.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
How, you ask? How has Decapitator won the friendly tournaments that we used to stage behind closed doors? It's a box on wheels. A bot on wheels. It's even tracked. Pure luck. The odd bit of skill. But I can tell you, even now that this weapon has come off, it'll still win. Mind you, I'm saying that. It'll probably lose in the first fight here. Ex-Human. Robobabe doing all of the work here with the flipper. It just takes one flip and now over goes Decapitator. But Decapitator can run both ways up. It has the potential here if it does get flipped. It can't run very well, because if you notice there's only a bit of track at the top of the robot there that can actually get a hold of the ground, the arena, for purchase. But yes, it's an interesting story really, Decapitator. Not quite sure how it's done so well in the past. Robobabe though. Wouldn't it be great if Robobabe won the group? You never know. Husband and wife team, they'll of course be meeting a bit later on, Ex-Human and Robobabe. Wouldn't that be that's got to be the match, the main event of the heat. Decapitator doing all of the pushing here though as they head into Sekilolot's territory. And look at this, I don't know how, but Decapitator's arm is being shredded. I mean, how is that happening? You've got to love this game. Makes no sense whatsoever. Ooh, now the siren. Now that wasn't good control from Decapitator there. Could have ended in the pit. The siren's there for a reason, you know. It's to make sure and make you aware that you don't drive in to that big hole in the arena. It looks like we're going to a judges here. Oh, now at a push, I would probably put Decapitator as the 2 points.
Cease.
I think initially Robobabe did well, but once the flipper had come off Decapitator, yeah, interesting one, isn't it? Probably Decapitator. The judges say Decapitator. All to play for. And so is the ultimate challenge at the moment as we take a breather. Now look at this, we've had Mortis and Thor survive, we've got 5 robots left. Next it's Chaos 2, who is through to the semi-finals in the main competition. It needs to beat 90 seconds, it needs to flip Dead Metal. Probably now the robot to do this. Don't let us down, Chaos 2. Mind you, I've said that it'll lose its flipper in the next couple of seconds, and there'll be another anticlimax. But Dead Metal's the one who's lost its weapon. First blood to Chaos 2. Look at this skill here. You just, oh, that's it! That's brilliant! Oh, I was going to say, if you could just get Dead Metal on its back, like a turned turtle, scorpion on its back, give its tummy a tickle, you'd win this. It's the only way to defeat Dead Metal. Flip it onto its back. Oh, this is great! And off go the claws. Chaos 2 here. Now, if we do happen to go to the full 90 seconds and we have multiple robots on 90 seconds, we will base the winner on their performance. And at the moment, Chaos 2 is doing incredibly well. Dead Metal really has not got a chance here. It can't do anything unless the pit descends. Dead Metal all over the place. Chaos 2 over. Still got the weapon though. Oh. Chaos 2 is making a mockery of the house robots here. Dead Metal on its back! Just leave it!
Cease!
I think we've got a win. We have! Now the question is how quickly, because we might have other robots who survive and complete this later in the tournament on a better score and a time, but at the moment, Chaos 2 is your winner. We finally found a robot. But now we go back to Group 11. It's going to be Firestorm next against Fluffy in the arena.
3, 2, 1, activate.
I think when Fluffy was being created, I don't know, drunk maybe, because you would expect Fluffy to have a disc, be invertible, not a robot that's made of wood with a spike at the back. Oh. And already bits of armour flying off. I don't know how it's happening. I mean, look at this. Yeah, Fluffy definitely not the strongest robot in terms of armour. Weaponry really, but at the moment has done well, pushing Firestorm into the corner patrol zone. Out comes the Killer. I think Killer needs to go back in. Might have to introduce some form of a ref bot, a virtual ref bot in the next series to control the house robots. Not quite sure how that would work, but Fluffy is biting back. It's not Fluffy at all at the moment. I would like to curl up to that machine. Sergeant Bash coming out. But look at the armour here, what I've been saying before, that the armour is so weak. Now the chassis is vulnerable, but over goes Firestorm. This is some good, aggressive tactics here from Fluffy. They know obviously that Firestorm is the threat of the heat, is the more experienced, certainly. Still has the flipper. Firestorm's armour isn't the strongest either. So quite evenly matched, and of course they can both self-right. Once again, Fluffy pushing back into the corner patrol, so this will all count in Fluffy's favour. Ooh! And I think Firestorm's gone!
Cease!
Yes, cease is called. I think they've just been immobilised. It must have been the shove into the house robots. It doesn't matter. Once the robots are immobilised, that's it. It's a clear 3 points for Fluffy. Fantastic stuff. It's Weldor and Captain Pirate next.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Weldor short of points. Can it do anything though against Captain Pirate? Such a machine, a design. Gonna have to go some to beat Captain Pirate, who I think could be the favourite based on the performances of its first fight. Now then, Captain Pirate, it does have the benefit as well of the axes. It doesn't really need the axes. And again, the house robots coming into play, just trying to get a hold of Captain Pirate. Yes, that's it. Now look, I mean the damage already to Sergeant Bash. That was from Captain Pirate. Such is the, well, I suppose the lethal spikes, that the lethal blows that the spikes give to a robot. I'm not quite sure. But already Weldor is nude. which means the chassis is vulnerable, and those spikes, especially when it's spinning like that, there is no chance. We could be looking at a potential champion here. Forget your grand final positions. I'm surprised Captain Pirate hasn't gone all the way. Oh, well, the flipper flips. And look, immobilised once again by the ferocity and the tenacity and the pummelisation, if that's a word, of Captain Pirate, who spins in delight. Another 3 points. What a great fight that was for poor, well, Weldor. Still remains on 1, and I don't think they'll be able to qualify. Captain Pirate leading the way. Let's flip to Route 12. And in the arena is going to be Diotior against Robobabe. Robobabe on 1 point. They can still qualify. They need to win, though, their next 2 fights if they want to succeed.
Activate.
A big ask, though, for Robobabe. They've still got to obviously win this fight, and then their next fight is up against their husband. I'm not even saying that. It's only a damn game. But there we go. It's all fun, isn't it? It's all fun. A bit of light relief and escapism. As we see Detour being shoved. Oh, look at that spike's got right stuck into Detour. That is brilliant. Look, and in doing so has completely ripped off the armour of Detour. That was a very good attack. The aggression, and at the moment on top, definitely Robobabe. You wouldn't think that was Diotior. Actually, it could be anyone. It could be anyone. Once again, Robobabe in control, pushing Diotior into the corner. What can Diotior do? Not quite sure what the idea of the lamp is on top of Robobabe to get a clearer picture of the robot. Shine a light. Once again, we have another immobilisation.
Cease.
And that's a clear win from Robobabe. Look at all of this carnage that's going on. 4 points. Well, Robobabe is doing what I suggested. Win its next 2 fights. Ex-Human and Decapitator next in the arena.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
It's looking very tight now for a space in the semi-finals. In fact, it's looking tight for a space in the pool. Robots are going to have to come out with at least 6 points. And that's just for second place. Decapitator now on 2 points. It's Ex-Human really who needs the win here. If you just get Decapitator flipped, you see, this is exactly as I was saying before. It's relied so much on luck, and it did a bit of a somersault, and it's back on its feet. Do you know what? I've got to admit, Decapitator is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's great to see how it gets out of situations. Now, Ex-Human should be able to self-right. It's very slow to doing. Yes, it has done. Now, because the body is so small, very hard for it not to self-right, even without the flipper. It is doing. Of course, they've both got the same types of saw, similar to the saw of dead metal. As it flips over once again, Decapitator that lifts the whole robot up as it flips. Such is the power of the little flipper. And again, avoid Matilda. Decapitator on the attack, on the offensive. Nearly once again flipping itself up and over. Well, Ex-Human, oh, and another flip, and it lands on its wheels for a second time. It's a joy to watch, entertaining. I don't think Ex-Human's done enough though for this win. All be confirmed. And we are going to go to a judge's decision. Well, I don't know. Oh!
Cease.
Up and over. Now, who have the judges given that to? It's got to be Decapitator, surely. Oh no! Oh, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Decapitator was surely on top. Maybe it was the flips. Maybe the flips did it. I'm gobsmacked. Group 11 now. Weldor and Fluffy.
3, 2, 1. activate.
Maybe Decapitator's luck finally ran out there. Still a bit speechless as to the judge's idea behind that decision. However, I'm not going to argue with him. They obviously saw something that I didn't. Hint, hint. Judging panel. If you, I'm overruling you. Decapitator should have got that. I'm still dwelling over it. On to this fight. Fluffy once again. Armour shredding. Shunt coming out to play now. Oh goodness me, Weldor. Upended while trying to... Oh, it's getting itself in a pickle here. Is Fluffy. Over it goes. It's lost its weapon. I think it's lost both of its weapons. Completely naked once again. Oh! And flipped over. Well, Weldor. 3 points. Well, our last fight of Group 11 is Firestorm and Captain Pirate. The winner of this, well, if it's Captain Pirate, we'll go through to the semi-finals. Firestorm will come second place and will end on 5 points. Jumping the gun a bit, but anything can happen really now. We're coming to the end now of our group battles. Captain Pirate is already sensing victory as it spins in delight. It loses its spikes quite quickly, but before really it does shred completely, the opposition is usually immobilised, or certainly shredded to death. Firestorm has the flip. It just needs to get in underneath, a proper good flip in now on Captain Pirate for them to really land on the back. I've very rarely seen Captain Pirate on its back or lose a fight come to that. They are up against Firestorm though, a veteran. Time's gone by. Captain Pirate now spinning around, desperately now looking at a spot in the semi-finals. Even if it loses this, it could still qualify for the pool. Oh, and we've seen the back of Captain Pirate, the underbelly. But at the same time, Firestorm's flipper came off.
Cease.
Oh, you could not have timed that any worse. As we see the backside, the underbelly of Captain Pirate, who hit... as they flipped. I believe we're going to mark the fight up until the point they were flipped. And Captain Pirate was on top. Right call in my mind. 8 points awarded. Firestorm doesn't even come second. Well, Group 11, there we can see Captain Pirate will be up against the second best robot to come from the pool. Now, as you know, Welder only ended on 4 points, so they do not qualify for the pool. There are already 5 robots on higher points. So that remains unchanged as we go back to our last 2 fights of Group 12. It's the one we've been looking forward to. It's X-Human and Robobabe.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Now, if Robobabe get the full 3 points here, they'll top the group and they'll go through to the semi-finals with 7 points, because even if Decapitator and Diotior win theirs and get the clear 3 points, they'll only end up on 6. So, we're rooting for Robobabe. Come on, the surprise package, I think. They've both been flipped, of course they both can self-right. Both robots incredibly light. Combined total weight of 162 kilos, really. That's, you know, some of the other robots, weight limit of 110. Didibots, they're like middleweights. Now the rear the rear saw has come off X-Human. This could look in Robobabe's favour here. This could work in their favour. It could top the group. This would be great. This is what we like. A bit of variety, a bit of fun throughout. And the spaces are tight. 2 places remain. Winner from each group, as we know already. Captain Pirate filling the first place. And then we'll have to decide the 4 winners in the pool. More on that shortly. But they're now on the floor. Flipper, X-Human, get yourself away from there as it flips and self-rights once again. That flew! Just shows you how light the robots really are, especially X-Human. Robobabe now trying to get that flipper in. Yeah, it's not really working, is it? Oh no, it's not! They've just landed on the pit! I don't believe it! And Robobabe was the first one to fall! Oh, I'm so disappointed. X-Human lands on 5 points. Robobabe, they can't qualify.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
I say they can't qualify. It all depends. That's Robobabe, of course. It just all depends on what happens here. It's going to be such a probably the closest group stage we've ever had in the whole tournament. You're looking at the winner taking the top spot by just a point if things end the way I imagine they will, because I can't see this ending cleanly unless Diotior manages to flip Decapitator without it being lucky and landing on its wheels again. Detour will probably go right to the end unless Decapitator can somehow get rid of that flipper. So you just never know here what is going to happen. X-Human though looking very healthy on 5 points. That's all we can say at the moment. Really does come down to the wire, doesn't it? The last fight of the whole group stage process comes down to Diotior and Decapitator, and the margins are so fine. No room for an error here. 3 points will be awarded. Whoever gets that 3 points will go through. Decapitator now on the attack here. They're doing really well until the flipper comes off the lifter. Once again, they're going to have to rely on brute force and its secondary weapon, that is the circular saw at the back. But look at this. You've got to admire Decapitator. Are you starting to see now why it's won it twice? It's just... it just never gives up, no matter what happens. Strong armour as well. If they can just... well, the pit's descending. Look, if Decapitator here can just try and turn... nearly winning itself. It doesn't want to do that. After all that fight and hard work, it was going to drive right in there. Going to get in. Oh, it's going to get in. It's so close to just... they obviously have not got the power to push it. It's in.
Cease.
It's in. Decapitator. Well, they win the group. It all rested on that fight, really. Decapitator, not the highest of points to be scored. That's a winning score as well. Unfortunately, X-Human cannot qualify. It only lands on 5 points. We will decide in the semi-finals who will get those 4 spots. Let's just confirm, though. Group 12 winner. And our last group winner, Decapitator. All 16 robots will be back for the 2 semi-final rounds. And of course we will decide who joins our 12 robots from the pool. But tonight's winners, Captain Pirates and one lucky Decapitator. Stay tuned for the semi-finals.